Welcome back. All right, some news of the day for all you fine people on the internet for your Tuesday, December the 10th. Starting things off with good news for the Vancouver Canucks. JT Miller in the process of making his return. He was on the ice ahead of the morning skate today. Likely joins the team at practice tomorrow, and he could play Thursday. So the return of JT Miller. Thatcher Demko was the first goalie off the ice today, so that sounds like he's starting tonight. Things looking up for Vancouver. Demko being healthy, Miller being back. This could all be great. We'll see how everything goes. But having Demko back is huge, I think, for this team. And so, yeah, Vancouver might be a team to watch over the next few weeks here. The NHL having their Board of Governors meeting, and apparently Gary Bettman letting the Board of Governors know that there's going to be negotiations with the NHLPA about possibly raising the salary cap more than the 5% cap that's currently on how much it can be raised by. There's been debates back and forth about whether or not they'll just go for a really big, jump, or if the NHLPA will opt for a few jumps over a few years. So, to spread the wealth, so to speak, between UFA classes. And we'll see how everything goes. But financially, the NHL's in a great position right now. The financial forecast for the league above $7 billion this year. It's not that long ago; it was in the $4.5 billion range. So yeah, the NHL's doing really well financially, and Gary Bettman also saying that they've already started to have preliminary discussions with the NHLPA about the CBA. And so yeah, this is all good news for the National Hockey League and for us as fans as well. That the league's healthy, the NHL's happy, the NHLPA are happy. As long as both sides are happy with things, there's no reason to lock anybody out. And it's also out there that the Panthers are in line for an outdoor game as soon as next year. So, some debate I've already seen about hosting a game in Florida. It would be tricky for sure, but it looks like the Marlins ballpark could be where that's held, and it's going to depend on time of year and unpredictable Florida weather as well. So, I know it won't be popular if Florida does get a game. I would think it would be Florida Tampa. I would think it has to be a Battle of Florida. But, we shall see how that goes and whether it would be a stadium game. I would think probably a stadium series game. Those are usually later in the winter, though, so it might be getting kind of a little toasty in Florida. Again, it's a tough thing to balance. And then I'm sure there's people asking, aren't there more, like, northern locations that haven't had an outdoor game yet? Yes, but it's a gimmick. It's all gimmicks. And so they want a gimmick that's going to grab people, and having an outdoor game in Florida, that's a gimmick that would definitely surprise and grab some attention. Kosa last night for the Detroit Red Wings became a first to do something very, very specific. He is the first NHL goaltender to record a win in his NHL debut in a shootout in a game where he came in relief. So I'm going to go ahead and say that probably won't happen again. There's so many circumstances there that Kosa has that, and it's his. So we'll see if he gets a start, if he gets more games for Detroit going forward. But he played well enough last night that they get the shootout victory in a game against the Buffalo Sabres, a battle of two kind of hapless franchises right now. Lane Hutson has become quite the story for the Montreal Canadiens, racking up the assists. He's got 21 assists in his first 30 career games, which is tied with guys like Makar, but it's only behind Larry Murphy at 27, Nick Lidstrom 23, Quinn Hughes and Brian Leetch all 22, or both of them had 22 assists in their first 30 career games. So not bad. Hall of Famer. There's a Hall of Famer. And Quinn Hughes, he's working on it. He's working towards being a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, Lane Hutson is in very good company, and he has set a record for a point streak by a rookie defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, which says a lot when there's been some great defensemen to start their careers in Montreal. So Lane Hutson getting a lot of positive attention, and rightfully so. Jason Zucker kind of laid into the team a little bit after last night's loss, the 7th in a row where Buffalo has failed to get a victory. And yeah, he says the team needs to look in the mirror. He didn't let himself off the hook either, but he said they need more urgency in their game. And Lindy Ruff, after the game, said that the team lost composure in the third period. That's where I would answer with, did you consider calling a timeout? I think when a team has lost its composure, calling a timeout at the right moment is prudent. I think that timeout's there for a reason. It's not just to talk about things when you're losing with a minute left and you got the goalie pulled. I do think coaches would benefit from using it during the game when their team's not playing well. To call them around and go, okay, stop being stupid, and here's what we want you to do. But yeah, so Ruff saying that they lost their composure last night and things aren't pretty in Buffalo. And I'm thinking, maybe if instead of swords, put palm trees in that logo. It's just one of those things. The palm trees comment by Kevin Adams is one of the best things that's happened this season. I'm just saying. I think it's so ludicrous the thing to say that, yep, there aren't palm trees in Buffalo. You're right. Yep. There aren't palm trees in Vancouver either. They're doing pretty well. There's no palm trees in Toronto. Their record's pretty good. Anyways, and getting free agents, Toronto's been able to do that. Vancouver's been able to do. It's just the lack of palm trees was such a weird comment. The taxes part, fine. You could mention not having but palm trees. Anyway, all that aside, for Tampa Bay, Chernak, he's dealing with an undisclosed injury. He's out tonight for Tampa against the Edmonton Oilers. So not great news there for Tampa. I haven't seen anything on Cirelli. Cirelli didn't finish that game against Vancouver either. So maybe game time decision. I just haven't seen anything on Cirelli at this point. Doesn't mean whether he is or isn't playing. Just keep an eye on things because Cirelli would be a huge blow to the Tampa Bay Lightning if they didn't have him in the lineup. Will Smith's been put on IR by the San Jose Sharks, who have also activated Barclay Goodrow off IR. So Goudreau's been out for a bit. He gets to come back into the lineup. Will Smith being out, that's definitely going to change the way the lines are and everything. But, with Smith, he's had a good rookie season. Hopefully this injury doesn't sidetrack him to the point where when he comes back, he's struggling. So hopefully he can come back and pick up where he left off. Kaliev sent down by the LA Kings on a conditioning stint, so he's close to returning to the lineup for the LA Kings. Kaliev has had a tough past year and a half between his production falling off with LA, all the trade rumors and all that, and now the injury as well. So hopefully Kaliev gets back into the lineup soon and starts getting some production too. Because in the event that the LA Kings are trying to move him, the more productive he is, the better. Regula's on waivers today for the Boston Bruins, so very likely to clear. Boston definitely in a position where Regula clearing would be nice because then you still have that depth on the blue line in the minors. A lot of debate online today about the Norris Trophy, because when is there not debate? So the favorite currently, so the odds makers' favorite, as well as apparently the favorite amongst media, is Cale Makar. This is where I'll say, if I had a vote, and I don't, and I'm not going to, my vote would go to Quinn Hughes. I think Quinn Hughes has been the best defenseman in the league this year, but Makar's the current favorite. He's getting a lot of points. Makar's playing better than he did in October. October, he had such an absolutely brutal month that even though he's been much better in November and December, those stats in October still cloud everything. But I would still go with Hughes. I think just consistency, dominance, puck handling, everything, I think is Quinn Hughes. But when you say Makar's the favorite, it's going to cause some people to have some comments, which it has. So I just figured I'd throw that out there. And then there was some discussion, too, about the Lady Byng trophy and Anze Kopitar being disrespected and all this fun stuff because Kopitar doesn't have a penalty minute. And if I was voting on Lady Byng, I would consider that. I mean, Slavin's always going to be in the conversation, but yeah, Kopitar with the game he plays without any penalty minutes, you have to at least make him a top 3 finalist, wouldn't you? All right, anyways, we're only a third of the way into the season. We're already debating the awards. I love that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. But thank you for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.